Stage movement can be an incredibly powerful tool for making your presentation stand out. But only if it's done well. Because the last thing you want to look like on stage is a caged tiger going back and forth, scaring your audience. Now, my name is Kyle Murter. I help people speak with more confidence and impact. And today I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can use a stage effectively in a presentation. And to highlight these different ways, I'm actually going to show you footage from a recent speech I did about my grandmother. Subscribe to the channel because every week I've got public speaking videos coming out which will give you lots of hints and tips for every presentation that you do. But for now, let's get into stage movement. So the first way you can use a stage effectively is by moving to signify a change of place. So if you're telling a story and you want to show the audience that you're moving to a new location in that story, some movement can show that. Here's an example.
When you were growing up, who was your favorite person? For me, it was my grandmother. I called her Gran. And it would take Mum and I 3 hours in the car just to get to Gran's front door.
So in this case, I used the stage to show that I was traveling to my Gran's house, which was anchored here. Now the audience know anytime I come back to this place on the stage, I'm going to be at my Gran's house. So it's quite a powerful tool if you want to anchor a particular place to a particular spot on your stage. The second way to use movement is to show a change of feeling. This is where we're getting into a little bit of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. The idea here is that you can anchor a certain emotion, a certain feeling to a particular point on the stage. In other words, you could have all of your happy, joyful, positive emotions over here, and then you could have more of your negative emotions here. This can work really well when you're showing the pros and cons of something. Over here, you share all of the reasons why you should go ahead and do this idea, why it's going to work out so well and be so successful. And then over here, you describe what the consequences of taking action on this idea could be. Why maybe you shouldn't do it right now. You can also use this movement in storytelling. We saw in the previous clip how my Gran's house was over here, and that's quite a positive thing for me. Watch how I change the feeling in this clip with movement.
And Gran and I were left to watch a film. Now, picture a movie with gunfights, with explosions, with swear words. As a 10-year-old, I was loving it. But when my mum came back, she said, "So, what have you two been doing tonight?" And my Gran just said, we just watched a relaxing movie. Die Hard. And then I ran up to my mum and said, "Yippee-ki-yay, Kyle." I loved being there with Gran. But have you noticed that when your loved ones are facing hard times, it's not so easy to be there?
So you get a sense that bad things are going to happen over here in the story. So think about the different emotions you want to convey in your presentation and decide in advance where on the stage you want those emotions to be seen and felt. The third way you can use movement effectively is to signify a change of idea. So let's say you've got 3 points you want to share in your presentation. Point 1 could be over here. You talk about that point. And then you move on to point 2. Over here, you describe that point. And then point 3 is in the middle. And what you've just done is you've created distinction between your 3 different points. It makes the information clearer for the audience and it gives them that visual representation in their mind. Again, this technique can be used in storytelling. Watch this clip, how I go from talking about how my gran passed away to moving into the idea of what my gran taught me and how I take that positive lesson going forward in life.
A month later, the movie of my gran's wonderful life came to an end. But her lesson lives on in my heart, because now I strive to be there for the people I love, to give them my time and love like Gran gave me when I was a little boy. And I'm sure you want to be there for your loved ones too.
So if you are moving from one idea to the other, reinforce that with some movement. It will make it more clear to your audience and will allow your audience to follow your presentation with more ease. If you would like to watch that full speech about my grandmother, you can check it out here and you'll see how I use the stage for movement during the course of the full 7 minutes. Subscribe to the channel if you found this video helpful, because again, every week I've got new video content coming out on public speaking. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope now you know how to use the stage with purpose.